Hi everyone and welcome to another video. Now this is the video for the poetry club on Ariel by Sylvia Plath. I will link the blog post down below because this will be discussing a certain part of the poem specifically, and will turn into a much wider discussion on poetry and what poetry can be. So if you would like to read the more detailed analysis of the poem, I will link the blog post down below. I also hope that Michael is watching this because he has been begging me to pick up Sylvia Plath finally. I am not in a place where I can pick up the bell jar right now, for it will do too much damage to me, but I will probably pick it up in the summer. So yeah, this will be focusing on an aspect of the poem Ariel by Sylvia Plath. And I will also link, if I remember, the poem down below as well. There is one mention of this a lady called Lady Godiva. I pronounce it like that. I don't know how it is supposed to be pronounced, but whatever. That's how I'm going with. And I've struggled a lot with Ariel the first times I've read it. It grew on me on this reading of it, but something I always appreciated is the mention of Lady Godiva, because I've been fascinated by that story for a long while. Basically, it's this myth or legend or whatever you want to call it, about Lady Godiva and her husband. Her husband was like this very I have some champagne left from the last video I filmed, which is like this, I don't know the English word, but this ruler of this place, and he got quite famous for his outrageous taxes, which alongside other pretty shitty behavior, which of course really pissed off Lady Godiva, and she wanted to do something against that. Therefore she said, listen dude, I'm not having that anymore, stop it. And she raised her voice for her people and the people around her and herself. And her husband, the shithead he was like, yeah, well, if you're going to ride naked on a horse through the whole town, I will do it, expecting that Lady Godiva will not do it. And guess who has been riding on a horse naked through the whole town to get the taxes down? You're right, it's Lady Godiva. And that story just really means much to me, and I really appreciated Ariel for mentioning that story. So you can raise the aspect of the female empowerment in that story. Of course you can, and it would be very fitting looking at Ariel as a whole, as well as Sylvia Plath as a person. But I think it can also raise another question, and that is, does Sylvia Plath think that writing especially writing poetry, is something for the greater good. So does writing poetry benefit a large part of society? And I think this is an argument you can have regarding lots of modern poetry, and how much is it poetry that is showing off a personal experience, or how much is it poetry for a greater good. Not that sharing a personal experience cannot be that, but it can like sort of discuss the aspect of poetry as an art that is universal or personal. And I think that is an aspect that gets lost looking at Ariel a lot of time. It is certainly an aspect I did not see on other readings of the poem, and I think very meta. It is also an aspect that is oftentimes lost in today's modern poetry. Those bits of, you keep reading the poem and you get something new out of it and you see something new. That's something I often miss in modern poetry. So yeah, I really appreciate the poem now for a second reading, and I think that's also, to tie the knot to the poetry club, something I appreciate a lot about those type of projects, because you are forced to look at a poem again, or a book again with a body read or anything like that, or more closely, because you are trying to produce content that is interesting to other people, and therefore you find new aspects. And that's what I've been missing on a community level, but also from more modern work of poetry. So yeah, that's just the discussion part I will put on the channel. Again, please check out the blog post as well, because there are some more aspects I've talked on there, and please go check out Mark's video as well at Birds Everywhere, and everyone who has participated in the book club. There's always a playlist on Mark's channel. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you soon in another video. Bye!